live, y'all. And you know what the lesson is? Power of the one. Now I need everybody to settle in. We got a real special guest today, all the way from Seattle. My plum sister Propel is in the house today. Seattle, you out there? I hear you. Our producer extraordinaire today, coming back with us, Mr. Mark Lee, is in the house. Thank you, Mark. Brenda in Ohio, you snapping the fingers? Bootsy Patty, what up? Funky Philadelphia, how you doing? Detroit, yo, Gabe, we love you, man. We're gonna be praying for you, bro. DC, Keith Jackson, Honeybee, we got you. Keep it moving, y'all. New York City. Snap your fingers like this. Power of the one, y'all. Bump from the front seat. Not on the grind, TV is the front. Bayshore, Staten Island, my home. I love y'all. Queens, Brooklyn, Suburb. Judge, you heard, people. Pennsylvania, Delaware, Kentucky, North and South Carolina. Even though we got the hurricane, yo, we still going. You can't stop the funk. We love y'all. Pray for y'all. Georgia, New Orleans, Florida. We love you, baby. We got you, Florida. We got you. Texas. Never buy Texas from a cowboy. From the front seat, y'all. I'm feeling real good. Been on the road with Tony Cameron, the Bump All Stars for a month. Now we back live. Propel is in the house. Mark Lee's in the house. West Coast. We got you, West Coast, California, Hawaii, Nevada, Utah, North and South Dakota, Canada, Dubai, England, Australia, Germany. Love you, Carmen. Oh, yeah. JP, North Carolina. You know I love you, Janice. Power of the one, brother. Hawaii, Samoan, doing the Humpty Hump, Humpty Hump. Tokyo, I'm Young High, say yo. Africa. And check it out, Russia. You know what you're doing is wrong. You can't annex land that ain't yours. We got you, Ukraine. Ireland, Elizabeth, call me sometime. DJ Copolino in Italy, thank you for playing my stuff, bro. Tammy Soul, sister, I miss you in Germany. Jacksonville Radio, thank you. Philly Phil, thank you. People Radio, thank you for always bumping this shit. Yo, Gabe, thank you, bro. Everybody around the world, come on. You know how we do. Nothing but the woo! I'm jacked today, y'all. Propel is in the house with us. Dr. Brookenstein, you out there, baby? Woo! I got you. Woo! Come on. Love you, Boosie. Love you, Patty. Nothing but the power of one, y'all. Believe it. Believe it. Back live from the front seat today. The fellas in the house today. All you guys out there in the house today. Woo! Feels so good, don't it? Somebody say yeah. Yeah. I got y'all out there, man.
The true essence of the funk
is what?
Is the power of the one, Bob.
Oh, man, today's show is going to be lit, off the chain, off the hook. My producer, Mr. Mark Lee, Thank you so much. Funk from the Front Seat, 9 on the Grind TV, every Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Without further ado, I'm going to bring this beautiful funk sister of mine, this amazing woman, entrepreneur, documentee, and author, actress, you name it. She's in it. Propel. Come on in, bro. What up, sweetheart? How you doing, sister?
I'm still feeling that power of the one.
Yo, I got to tell you, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do today, and man, that just hit me. I was like, I think we need that, you know. I can see, first of all, shout out, but you rocking it, right? You rocking it all right.
Because we know what day it is, what time it is.
Yeah, we do. So how you doing? And thank you for getting up so early. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. How you doing? What up, George from Da Vinci?
You can hear me, or can I?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. But I'm doing pretty good. It is pretty early, but thankfully I get up early for work, so it wasn't that much of a stretch.
Yeah.
And then if you're down for the funk, you'll make those sacrifices for what is important. And so shout out to Robin Circle of P too, because I get up pretty early for that. But it's it's worth it.
Yeah. I know we all got some of our brothers and sisters dealing with this thing, so I'm gonna get this right out the way right now. We just go send our prayers and thoughts. Whatever state you're in, we understand it's not gonna be easy. So I just want to put that out there because we're able to do things like this, but we have to remember other things that are happening that are real life things. You know what I mean? How you doing? Your family all right? Everybody okay? Good? You got no people in no parts of this thing?
Oh, no, everyone is, for the most part, they're not in those places being affected. Yeah. So that is a blessing, yeah.
Yeah, it is a blessing. So let me ask you, we're going to start at the beginning. Thank you for coming on the show. It's the first time. You studied film at Howard University. You went there for a little bit.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your childhood growing up and how you were led towards this funk thing that you do.
My childhood growing up, let's see, was a lot of purple, but both of my parents are musicians, so that was my initial opening to the funk or exposure was through my dad, though, and I just gravitated to it. But then as far as film, everybody in my family sings, and I just wanted to do something that was more unique to my own self and kind of just explore that way. And so we watched a lot of movies growing up, and then I kind of just had a lot of opportunities with great teachers, I'll say, like one, Mr. Bascachia, and funny, middle school, I still remember this guy because he just gave, opportunities. Oh, you'll be able to film, the football team plus edit the highlights. Don't worry about if you know about it or not. We'll teach you. So I was like, because I'm already done with, I'm one of those kids that was always done with my work early, not to toot my own horn, but there's a lot of kids like that where people, they get done and then they start talking to other people because they're bored, so I'm grateful I had teachers that had things available for us, and I just ran with it. I was like, this could really be something. Then there was another opportunity in high school, and then I was like, okay, well, why don't I just, study? I wanted to get away from Seattle, honestly, because I wanted to learn about my culture, but also I just wanted to explore who I am, as a person, as opposed to I was born into the church and all that. And for those of us who are PKs, that's kind of you know what I mean? And you're in a box, so I know why the cage bird sings for many reasons. And now it came full circle back to singing, but funk for me is like a family. It's turned into a family, which, it's funny how these people check on me more than my own family. You know what I mean? And I'm like, and I realized that one day, I don't feel bad about saying it because it's the truth. And they
Yeah.
don't make me feel bad about, hey, if I'm having a bad day or whatever, if I don't make someone, show or something like that, it's like you can tell they're genuine. And then there's people that aren't, but we won't get into that.
That's
But I
right.
just
That's right.
love,
We know who they are.
right. So we just focus on the positive, you know what I mean? And so I also had the opportunity yeah, I don't want to go there yet, but I met some great funky friends that were kindred spirits, if you will, and I knew that, hey, this is, the project Mommy Was the Funketeer. I knew that it was not something stupid, that there are people that really would like to know about our family, about our lifestyle, and so, like, life happens, and um, I'm glad that, film pretty much opened up its doors to me. Like, it's film and purple are things that I love so much because they don't hurt me.
Yes.
And, yeah, so I know someone had commented on something I wrote that was years ago, and they said, oh, but I love you, your family loves you. And I'm like, I don't want to have to explain it again, so I just left it. It's like something that you can just deposit all, like you can give all your love and know that it's not going to hurt you or betray you. Though there were those times where, I did apply for certain things that I didn't, but it's all a journey. And then now I know that that the journey is really what it's about. It's not about, happiness being this destination, because you're like Abraham Hicks in Law of Attraction, still in my head, or whatever, that you're never going to get there. It's a constant,
Amen.
tuning,
Amen.
of your
Amen.
spirit, your energy, and all of that. So of course I believe in God. I mean, I'm always going to believe in God, but I was talking to a friend the other day about how this thing of being born into it is like, if you think about it, at some point you're like, wow, I really didn't have a chance to even explore what I think as a person, what I know is true, what works for me. So I don't even have a problem saying it. Nam yo ringe kyo, because
Yep.
it helps,
Bhavananda
like,
Sarupa.
me. And I mean, praying is a different thing than meditation. That's between you, and God, and whoever you deem as the higher deity or whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's source, which is within yourself. I'm going all over the place, ain't
No,
I?
I'm with you because see, I'm getting ready. I have my, I got my format, but we're organic on the show. So that's why I asked you. Now you could right there was two things
Oh,
that I
that was
wanted.
just like a.
No, that's you
That was
good.
just
You
like
good.
a trick.
I was gonna tell the audience two things I know when I met you on Facebook that I automatically knew. We're one of them kindred spirits together. We was locked in from the first time I sent your picture to Alien, and you didn't send back no silly thing. You just like, yeah, cool, whatever, boom, FIFA. And I knew you from that. And then I also knew you from just being in this orb of harmony and spiritual stuff, not looking at the negative, but the positive, because we all had negative in our lives. And when I connected with you, I said, there was something about you that drew me to you with the purple, with your energy. It was your energy. I see energy and feel energy first. And we always stayed in touch. How many years
Yep.
now? At least 2 or 3, right? It was before
Yep.
COVID. We was friends on Facebook. And I see you in the chat here and there, and every now and then you pop in, this and that. And I was like, you know what? This spirit is what it is, the essence of the funk, power of the one. And like you, real quick, my dad was a Baptist minister, but I sought other things, and he always allowed me that freedom. He knew there were UFOs. He told me about the light. He told me about the journeys. He was progressive way back in the 60s as a Baptist minister. He said, of course, there's other stuff out there. So that's all I wanted to hear.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm a hybrid. So that's all Anunnaki funk soldier. I know what I am. So when I start connecting with people like you and you into this funk, and then having the pleasure to meet you and perform with you.
Oh my God, that was out of this world, right? And then, oh my God, I was like, just the opportunity, excuse me, was great. Excuse me. Um, man, but as it started to happen, I was just like, and then it got more real and more real. And then and then you got Kendra Foster, you got Shirley Clinton, you have
Mike Hampton.
Linda Shiner, yeah, Mike Hampton, and and Penda. Oh my God, I just love Penda. Like
She loves you too.
Got a chance to talk, and I just love how she was like, everybody is allowed to funk in their own way, and should be allowed to. And I was like, yeah, I had nothing else to say. I was like, if things she was saying, I was like, wow, before I could even say anything, it's like she has this look too, and that she understands, and
she's one of us. She's one of us.
Yeah.
Tell people about the purple. Don't give away your secrets or what you hold dear. Just give people a little bit about the purple, because some people need to understand what that's about.
Oh, well, first I can talk about the Purpell, which was like when I went to France and came back, that was given to me. It's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm Purpell, like trying to be whatever, something I'm not. No, P is pursue, and then you are your passion every day, living life effectively. And that's all that I do. And then purple, like, okay, for me, it represents the mocking of Jesus as well, because when they put him on the cross, they said, oh, you're the, King of the Jews, this and that, the crown and all this, and then they had the nerve to put it purple, like, okay.
Yeah.
And also, it means, royalty.
Yes, it does.
Cultures. And they used to dye, they used to make this dye from like the shells and different things. And there's this thing called, that starts with T. And then the Phoenician or something like that, they used to make the purple out of the shells. And
yeah. And grapes too, they used to use grapes.
Oh yeah, right.
They used to squish the grapes.
People know, or they may not know about the chakras, where the crown and the brow is the highest chakra, having to do with psychic abilities and connecting to
third eye.
Third eye. And
James
all of
Jones said hello, by the way. Shout out to James Watson.
Oh,
shout out to Funkavici.
Yeah, he gave me those purple beads. I took those home, and I'm talking about the Funketeers ball. It's still like it was a lot.
Can you do me a favor? Can you say that acronym again for Purpell?
Oh, it's Purpell is P pursue, and then you are your passion every day, living life effectively. And one of the kids I used to work with, she used to say, pursue your passion every day, living life effectively.
I like that. Thank you. So for my audience, you learned something new today. Let's roll with it.
Yeah, excuse me for all the coughing, but
no. We organic, sweetie. This is what we do on this show, And for those of you out there, I'm carrying Brenda Honeybee's mantra, keep it moving. Every day I got to say that on the show. Keep it moving. So every show we do, y'all going to hear that. Okay, so you got this doc, and I want to be in it, by the way, because I know you was calling for Funketeers stories. So let me know what I need to do. But you were saying you wanted to get Funketeers involved to be part of it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, well, I still wanted it to be organic in every sense, meaning like even down to the music, because I know that's one part that I really like not have an issue with, but I want to do right, because George already had some issues with that, but I felt like, wouldn't it be nice to have Funketeers do the score? And also, I've made a multiple attempts to get Funketeers involved, but I think that some may not have known, like before COVID, that it was so simple, like what we're doing right now, and even through Zoom and stuff. And I was telling people, hey, you can just go through your messenger and press this, and just tell me your story and all this. I was like, and the energy was so, you know, like hype, but then it's just about timing too. And then back then, you know, when I met Brenda, she was really, really trying to help me, but I think some of it was she was really busy with a lot of projects too. But there was All Around the World for the Funk, Aqua Boogie Affair. We did that in August. So, okay, but am I answering your question? I don't think so.
Yeah, because I was just trying to find out more about the doc.
What I want to make sure that people know is there's a difference between like a Funketeer and like a Funkadelic, because you know there's the song "Mommy What's the Funkadelic," and that's like the musician, you know, or you know, singers, and the Funketeer is one who follows the funk, and it's a lifestyle for them, and you know, love is a way of life and unity, and just showing all around the world for the funk. The two people, like I've already got Janet multiple times because she is one of the greatest examples of all around the world for the funk, and also shout out to Sonia Murphy, who one of her funk sisters, Lonnie, calls her the promo something of funk, or the Duchess of Funk. She said, and I very such a supporter, and I really love Sonia, and I love Lonnie too. Like Lonnie, I've been talking to her for a while, and I'm definitely gonna, you know, include her story in the story.
I'll be sending you one. How do you want me to send it?
Oh, you can do it through Facebook, or you can just use your phone.
Okay.
And
how long do you want it? How long or short?
Oh my God. Woo! Let me stay focused. You know how people that know me, they know how sometimes I have a dirty mind, and you can forgive me for that.
Nah, this is organic. You be you.
Between 5.
I encourage that. Open that other door. Let's go. I'm ready.
Oh my God.
Let's go. Saddle up.
But you know, it's really like whatever you feel comfortable with. But I would say the cap is like 10 minutes, because then I can kind of go and take from certain things to match up with other.
Let me ask you something. Why do you think funk music and the genre itself, we have to work twice as hard to get what mainstream things do, and then they take it mainstream and do other things with it? We're just now getting the Funketeers, because I'm a Club Funketeer ambassador, vice president for Bootsy and Patty. Thank you for that, Bootsy and Patty. High honor. Larry Funkster Jones is the president. But collectively, what you're doing, what we're trying to do on this show, bring Funketeers together, right? Somehow, we're never at the Super Bowl this year. As much as I love my girl Rihanna, she's at the Super Bowl. Good for her. She's gonna blast it. But funk has never been to the top, and it kind of hurts me a little bit, but it gives me more fuel, because you honor, like you said, it's a lifestyle for you. It's a lifestyle for me. You know, you honor that so well, and I just want people to know that. But why do you think it's so hard?
I think it's because, like, something that George wrote in his book about, if it's about love and peace and something like that, they're going to come for you. Basically what he said. And I have to piggyback off of the whole church thing, too, because gospel music is the same way, you know, as far as the exposure and stuff like that. But that's just because it's religious. But some people would go as far as to say that funk can be viewed as a religion. So
yeah, totally, totally.
And some people may not understand that. It just depends on how far you are into it, I guess.
It's spiritual. It's spiritual. Miss Pantress, how you doing, sweetie? Your funk fans are tuning in for you, man. That's dope. It's spiritual. It is, like you said, it's spiritual.
I would say the badass Pantheress.
Yes, that's right.
But yeah, speaking of, I got this amethyst here. She made me think of the purple.
Speaking of, Speaking of, hold up. Speaking of,
Oh, you got yours too.
you know, you know how we
Yeah.
roll. You know how we go.
This one I take with me everywhere. The pyrite, because it blocks the negative energy. I wrote some stuff down about that too. Wait. Oh yeah, it creates a shield against negative energy. Yeah. But yeah, I see that picture right there. That's oh, he's gone for a sec. Okay. Me and Brenda and two guys that Funketeers we met at the Howard Theater. Like that this was right before the show. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm
No,
just
no, I had a power surge just now. Sorry. My
oh,
light,
it's fine.
yeah, because the lights on the corner are out and my lights blinked off and on just now, knocked out my feed. We good.
Oh, it's fine. I know how to keep it going.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if
So where is this at? This picture here.
oh, this was at the Howard Theater. Well, it's at a restaurant or something right by the theater, and we were talking to these guys about the documentary.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, oh, let's take a pic. But they're from somewhere overseas, so I believe.
Mark, you got another one back there with Miss Brenda in it?
So yeah, we met on Meetup. That's so funny. I was looking through my Meetup the other day because I hadn't, in a while since COVID, and I went through my messages. I'm like, what the heck?
Right.
And the initial meeting and stuff, and it just, of course, kind of made me like emotional, but also it like that for me, it kind of gives me fuel. I know that sounds weird, but like reminds me that I don't have all this time that I think I have.
Amen. Amen. We
And
all learned something over the past year and a half about life, about COVID, about what's important. Some of us lost people, things, things were taken from us illegally. My man Gabe, so we've all are experiencing the dark, trying to do everything it can, these last ditch efforts to mess with us because we're light workers. See, that's all it is. So if everybody stays on point and we all use our third eye, we've already defeated the dark. That's why it's coming after things and people we love, because it can't get us. We're too powerful. You know what I mean?
right. And this that picture there is pretty dope. Mama Sandy likes to post that a lot, which I don't mind. But yeah, oh, I was looking at that message. Yes, that's true. A lot of people can be evil.
Amen. Yep.
But that was the DC Funk Circle back in February 2017, and Julia Ridgely and her husband had let us use their place, and it was really nice. Like I wanted to do more. I still have like a really big vision for it, but just kind of have to, with documentaries, you kind of have to let the personality, let it take on its own personality. And so who would have thought that, this many years later, Brenda would be gone, but we had talked about that as far as like what, she was dealing with, but I just, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to like go there. She didn't want that to be a big thing either. So kind of just kept going. But that initial DC Funk Circle is like the base, I would say, of the doc. But now I have all these other interviews sprinkled in. But Brenda, I met her like 2000 and I don't remember what that said, but it was right before that first Funketeers ball, and she had this group of meetups. She's like, "Oh, nice to meet you," and be sure to check this out. I already talking about the mothership landing. I think I sent you a screenshot of that, but in that we're kindred spirits because she has been capturing stories for a while, and her the soundtrack of her coming to the funk is Charlie. She loves that song.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, if you listen to the lyrics, you can see. I mean, and you can understand. Like I was strung out on bop, and Beethoven was my thing. I love jazz. I love rock. Anything with the slang. And so I ran into a friend who told me there was so much more. And that's literally what happened. That's what she said. So that's another segment of the doc. It's called Funk Love, and another couple I wanted to get an interview with is Tony Cam and Jack Wee. I call her Jack Wee. I don't know. People are like Jackie or Jack Wee. I don't want to get it wrong, so I figure it's original.
I call it Jackie. I call her sister. Like I call you. I say, hey,
okay.
sister.
Yeah, so lady don't get nothing wrong, right? So I already have Brenda's interview for talking about Funk Love, and I got a little bit from Pantheress and Do Funk Vinci.
I'll make sure you get something from me. I will this weekend. I'll get it done.
Right.
And hold that thought, because we're gonna hear a little bit from Keith Jackson and my other sponsor.
Oh yeah.
And then we're gonna come back on the other side. We're gonna talk about how meditation changed your life as well as mine, but your life, as well as the other subject and about Bruce Lee. And he's one of my favorite authors. And of course, I Am the Lotus, but of course, Be Like Water. And the transformation. We're going to get into all of that on the other side. Hanging out with Propel today from Seattle, Washington. We're going to take a quick break. Y'all know how we do with Keith Jackson because we love him, and we rocking the P-Funk shirt today. So P-Funk Radio.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Keith.
Hey, this is Keith Jackson with P-Funk Radio, inviting you to check out my brother Zach Robinson with Funk from the Front Seat. Saturdays, 12 noon on the East Coast and 9 a.m. on the West Coast. It all happens on 9 on the Grind TV and also on YouTube. Great guest, great conversation each and every Saturday. That's Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson on 9 on the Grind TV and YouTube. Check him out.
Hey, it's Chrissy Key Rollins here with Holistic Restoration, inviting you to check out Zach Robinson with Funk in the Front Seat. He drops new episodes every Saturday at noon on the East Coast time, and replays are posted for whenever you miss a live stream. You can find him on 9 on the Grind TV and also on YouTube, and get ready for the funk because he brings it every week along with hot topics, amazing guests, and great conversations. Again, that's Zach Robinson with Funk from the Front Seat on 9 on the Grind TV and YouTube. Go check them out.
And we are back on the other side, hanging out with Propel, all the way from Seattle. And you were very deep, even in the messages and texts I got from you. I always saw you as part of the Funk Circle. But I want to talk to you about Bruce Lee, our brother. Tell us a little bit about why you were drawn to that particular phrase, as a lot of us are, be like water.
Well, I guess, being from Seattle too, it does make sense. I didn't think about that, but and Bruce Lee from Seattle, but Aqua Boogie, I think that to me that also means be like water, and all the stuff we have to deal with in life. And if you think about a stream and how, water is not going to try to ask someone why. It's going to go around, it's going to just keep moving. Like, Brenda was saying, keep it moving. It's like, well, when I started to think about this, and also like that level of resistance, that's just like you being human. But when you think about being like water, I'm just gonna read the quote. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. And in purple. It's in purple. Hey, I'm old school. I'm just gonna write it down.
I'm with that. I do the same thing.
You must be shapeless, formless like water. When you pour water in a cup, it becomes the cup. When you pour water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. when you pour water in a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Water can drip and it can crash. Be like water, my friend. So,
Yes.
I mean, with as far as meditation and stuff like that, there's different forms of it. Like I know some people who just can stare at, something and that be their meditation, just like quieting your mind and allowing these thoughts to dissipate, because a lot of times that's what it is and for me too, like I know that I would try to utilize certain things to help me like calm my thoughts down, because especially like in my 20s, and I don't have no problem saying that, because anyway, I know that I was always having like a million ideas, just to say the least, that I had a day, and I'm trying to like focus these things. But so meditation, once I found that out, also with relationships too, it allowed me to just like quiet my mind and not think so much about what this other person is doing. And if you focus like on your own self, then it becomes more like entertainment. Like whatever they're doing, it's like, oh, I already know you. I know what you're gonna do. So if I choose to step into something, then I know what I'm getting myself into. And then it became easier for me to see, the third eye, because it's open. But also, as far as energy is concerned, if I just focus on my own self and not like, it's that's just how my mind works. Like I care, but it's like I have to not care, which is hard for me with meditation and mindfulness. It helps, and it has really opened up doors, even financially too, to where it's unexpected money. When you're taking your energy away from this sense of lack or a poverty mindset, when you start to think like, hey, it's possible for me to have so much more, and then out of the blue, getting a raise here, doing this, getting this here. Yeah, we're going through inflation, but God's still blessing me. You know what I mean? And I just came to a point where, yes, I believe in God, but it's like, wow, this meditation thing, there's something to this too. And so that's, like when I got into like the healing crystals and all that as well. I also wear one, because this one has tiger's eye all around it, but then it has the 7 chakras, so that I'm balancing myself throughout the day. Yeah. And I see you have a copper one too?
Not yet, but my friend is getting me the copper snake ring that I really want. Been following a lot of Sadhguru. For those of you out there that know about that, check him out, because the brother definitely has some wisdom to share for us light workers to help us deal with the pain. Why do you think, as an empathic spirit that you are, that we signed up? And I know this is going to be a deep question, so take your time. We signed up for this type of pain that we have to go through, trying to get ourselves straightened out, and then trying to help others to the light. Why do you think that pain part is so painful?
I think that just had an epiphany there, that the amount of pain is the amount of people we can help. Because it's like, I literally can feel like if somebody is going through something, as I've gone through like a lot myself, it's just the energy, but it's also a feeling. And then I'm like, I'm led to whether I should reach out to this person or not. But like, also the amount of pain you dealt with, I think of it as like, if you're like, you're digging deep, and then think about all the love that can be deposited into that hole. Into that, you know what I mean? The pain that, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but
no, you're perfect. Go with it. We're right with you.
And then you're able to intake. That's not the right the amount of pain that you're able to deal with or handle is the amount of love too. That
You're right
or
about that.
the capacity of love that you can contain.
Absolutely right. You know what I like about your mantra as well as your spirit is that you're communicating like on several like dimensional levels. So when I talk to you or people like me talk or you speak whatever, we're always having like these 3D, 4D conversations in between what we're actually trying to say. So I get that. So when you say, hey, am I explaining it right? Trust me, I get it because we're not built for what's happening right now. We're built for the next level. And that's why we try so hard to get there and bring everybody with us. You know what I'm saying? Third eye wise. You got like third eye. Come on. We got to stop this thing of hate. I did a quick post yesterday and I said, listen, hopefully, and this is a paraphrase of it, but it was short, but I felt so bad for the world because we've had an opportunity, and I saw you tagged it too. We had an opportunity to learn and understand Mother Earth is sick of us. You know? Mother Earth is pregnant for the third time. For y'all have knocked her up. You know what I'm saying? So she's tired, bro.
That is another thing that I wanted to show in the documentary is how we speak through lyrics. Like, and everything is on the one. You know what I'm saying? And another example that when I was in DC before I, caught on to like the meditation I'm doing now, good thoughts, bad thoughts was my meditation. And I always do my funk walks in DC, but that one, I could put it on repeat. And then, there's no lyrics really in the beginning, but then all of a sudden, travel like a king. And then, I, of course, like a queen, but it's like those words are so powerful.
Yeah.
And, the solution is within the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you can just start out with that. Like, if you're interested in meditation, like that will get you set up. And then just, like, I just started looking on YouTube and stuff, and I came upon, Abraham Hicks, but, law of attraction, but I don't just stop there.
It's the fact that we all have to change by the second now. And I like it because I'm built for change. I'm an Aries. I'm fire. So fire, wherever there's oxygen, hey, we can go there, But there's a lot of consequences along the way that I'm finding out. I'm finding out that people I thought was cool with me really wasn't. And see, the universe moved them out of the way so I can do my thing now.
In a very unique way. And, to where it's not even, there's not even a light shined on it to where that's what that was. And I can be very vague about it because you know what yours was, I know what mine was. And it's like, wow, but when you recognize that and you're like, the consequence is, when you recognize that and you decide to go back. But now I'm like at a point where, hey, in order for this thing to move forward like how it's supposed to, everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. And I don't feel bad, because we came in the world by ourselves, honestly, and we're going to meet by ourselves. So
that's right. That's right.
And even Jesus said, hey, you remember when they were like, your cousins, your mom, your whatever is right here. He said, my family is in my Father's house. My business is I'm about my Father's business, not to get, I'm just using that as an example because
that's right. The one
family, it's about how do they make you feel and the tangible, like, hey, how you doing? Like Mama Sandy hit me up. I'm just checking on you, like out of the blue. I'm like, she doesn't really do that, but you know what I mean? Like people that are genuine like that, like it's very rare. So I found that in my funk family. Yeah. And I'm okay if that's, the only family that, I have. That's fine with me.
You know, it's funny because my funk family and my musical family saved my life. Literally saved my life. And I ain't going into details, but you know, they saved my life, man. And for those of you out there, if you ever feeling any kind of way, please don't just call 988. That is the suicide hotline, 988. And I bring attention to that in every show because there's so many people out there that are hurting right now. Know that we love you here. Know that Mark Lee, producer, loves you. You know, Propel loves you. I love you. And everybody in this audience loves you. If you are looking for somewhere to go, you come into our funk family. It's as simple as that. The door's wide open. Hang out on the mothership. You know, we got you. Remember that hotline, 988, you know, just in case, man. Because I know society will tell you that's the way you got to go, but that's not true. You know, that's not true at all. You know, there's a mission that you have, spiritual purpose. Right? Everybody's born with a spiritual purpose. So, Propel, I am the lotus flower. If I said that to you and I just saw you walking around, I said, hey, what's up, sis? And I said, yo, I am the lotus flower. What does that mean to you?
Oh, man. That, they have the one, a rose that grew from concrete, but I am the lotus flower. It's like, okay, even with all that, it's been through all that soot and mud and just, stuff you would have never thought that a flower could still bloom beneath all of this. Like, it's not just mud and soot, it's like pressure. But so it's like a strong flower, but also no matter what, dirt and soot, and this is also can be related to whatever negative things people are saying to you and trying to get you to
Amen.
To stay down there and seeing that you have a light. You know what I mean? And a lot of times for me, that was the thing. Like, it was the distractions, it was the relationships. In a lot of my relationships, it was these, guys seeing that I do have a light and trying to just, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, you need to, I'm not, I'm about to allow this to happen. And then it's crazy after doing the meditation and stuff, and then, God moving me from one place to another location. I was in a fire in 2017.
Sorry.
And I see how that, it was all a divine plan. Now that's how I think about it, and even how it was done. I didn't even have to say goodbye to certain people. It was this person was here. I'm here in band. I can't have you there no more because you're not going to be able to flourish how I want you to flourish if you're here, because And now, after I got the hang of the meditation thing, and I went through some more struggles when I came back, home to Seattle. But it was all a divine plan, and God blessed me with so much more. That's why when I was thinking about Gabe, I was like, man, somebody really sees his light. And they're like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make light out of the situation, because that really hurt me to hear that, that happened.
Same.
And I know how I would feel, crushed, broken. Like, I don't want to talk to none of you motherfuckers. Excuse my language. I don't want to talk to none of you, because this is something me put his heart and soul into. And then somebody came and saw, that light and then want to crush it. But I know Gabe, he's also an Aquarius, so he's going to rise like the lotus flower as well.
Yeah, we got you, bro.
But I know I'm just, I wanted to mention that and say, I'm very sorry that happened, and I'm like really feeling for you, man. Yeah,
we all are, man. But like you said, we're all strong together. I was talking to Keith yesterday, and we were talking about unity and being together, about how we're doing this thing, Funk Alliance, and how you're part of it, and how we're just all going to determine to keep this entity alive they call funk, because it's its own entity, right?
Yes.
We know it's its own reward. We know that, and we are determined, and we are the funk soldiers put on the front lines now. Now it's our turn. So that's why we're all very, very powerful in it, and going to be moving in that direction for people like Brenda, for people like Gabe, for people like Keith, George, Bootsy, Bernie, Patty, Carla, all of the true funk soldiers. Dawn out on your coast over there. I love Dawn, man. So I feel a special honor, and even just talking to you. And today we're hanging out with Propel. She's hanging out with us from Seattle, Washington. Funk from the Front Seat. Mark, my producer, will be on at about, 5 minutes. We're going to chat it up with him a little bit. But I feel honored, man, because, again, we manifested to meet each other somehow. You way there and I'm way here, but somehow we met in D.C. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's powerful. We were all thinking the same thing.
On freaking stage, and I have to say, I really love that. The hat, the get up. Oh my God, everybody came with it. And then when I was backstage, I knew Jackie was gonna, but I saw that outfit, I was like, ah! Jackie is, that's like one of my, I love her, yeah. I love Shirley Clinton too, and she brings her own essence to the stage too, and Penda and Linda, and and Kendra Foster, it was awesome. And Tony, of course. Man, that was like, still feels like a dream. And I'm so happy that Tony asked me to be there. The Funketeers Ball, people don't know what I'm talking about, but like I'll end up changing the subject. I know you probably do this too, but I'll change the subject. And I'm like, oh, by the way,
I'm rolling with you. It's organic. It's organic. I'm rolling with you. My audience, they know what we do over here. They know this is nothing about the funk. I wanted to ask you real quick, right? First of all, another shout out. Happy birthday, Keith Jackson. We love you.
Yeah.
Now, this is serious. You see the shirts that we're wearing. Somebody has been bootlegging these. Okay?
Oh, yeah, right.
So do not buy or order any P-Funk paraphernalia radio stuff unless it comes straight from Keith Jackson. And whoever's bootlegging it, we're going to catch you, Sir Knows. So stop it. It's
That's
illegal.
right.
Number one, it's a licensed product. Number two. And number three, it's about love. If you love funk, you would never do that. So you must be a funk hater if you're trying to bootleg P-Funk radio shirts. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Just a Little Girl with Big Dreams, Memoirs of Propel. We're going to go there for a few minutes, and then we're going to bring on Mark Lee. We'll talk about our hero of the month, which is the new Supreme Court Justice, first Black woman to ever be that, for a hot second. And then we get back to you. But again, you're amazing. I'm just so glad that we connected the way we did, and we love like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so happy, man. I'm just, it warms my heart. And your smile is amazing. It's just truly, it blows me up. It blows me up,
Thank you very
It's a
much.
little girl with big dreams. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, I'm, the baby girl, but I mean, I just wanted to go, or I want to go as far as I can go before, or if, that happens, as far as having I don't want no kids really, but I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen. But Memoirs of Propel, that's the book that I'm working on. And it's really an honor to be able to get to this point. But I mean, being from Seattle, it's a lot different, but it's a great thing because I'm open to different cultures, and I know how to maneuver between these different cultures. But it's just different when you put it in a book, like, I feel like I'm not explaining the question right, but
no, you are. I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
But just kind of showing like how, okay, I was born into a certain thing, but then how I found myself and how I became propelled. And
Right.
that just basically the stories that stick out the most, like, I was thinking it was one thing, but then it turned out to be this, great thing. Like I'm in the studio looking like, the studio, just that coming out of my mouth is funny. But looking at me and Spike, and then me and Robert Townsend, and I just keep those pictures up, and Malcolm X over here. But Malcolm X when he's smiling, not the militant picture. And I always thought he had a beautiful smile. So these things, I know that's a lot of male energy, but that's kind of like my energy because of the moving and shaking, not because of testosterone. But there's a certain energy you have to have as far as being a mover and shaker. And I feel like I have many stories to tell, and that's why I'm doing it in this way, memoirs of Propel.
Yeah, I think that's dope. I told you before the show started, I said, listen, if somebody gave me a resume for whatever it could be, and they said I was born in the same place Hendrix was born, I'd be like, you're hired. I wouldn't even waste time.
They have a little a monument down the street from where I live, and I always walk by and rub his little fro. Jimi Hendrix.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you can't go wrong. Nothing you could ever do, in my eyes, could be anything other than you was born when Jimi Hendrix was born. I'd be like, marry me. I don't care. You were born with a sight unseen. I don't care. You were born when Hendrix was born. So now, getting back to being a true funk soldier as you are, what do you see going forward with, a time slot, maybe when you'll be dropping one of these documents? Anytime soon, or is it going to be like next year?
One of these documents, meaning the book or the documentary?
Yeah, like in other words, timeline wise, when will, say, the Funketeers, what's a Funketeer, or just a little girl with big dreams? When is the timeline so my audience can look out for when it may be dropping?
Oh, I would say probably sometime next year as far as the documentary goes.
Okay.
The book, I don't know about that.
Okay. That's a lifelong thing anyway. I get it. I get it. We're hanging out today with the amazing Propel. She is like a true funk soldier, sister, light worker, star child, indigo child, sister of the funk. We were having some tech difficulties, so if there's a lag, I apologize, because we had a bad storm. We're catching the tail end of what's happening in South Carolina. I did have a power glitch and it knocked me out, so it might have put Propel on a lag for you out there. I apologize. I didn't want to stop the show because we have the connection and we got to keep the funk connection. Right now, I'm going to bring my producer, Mr. Mark Lee, in, and I know he's got a couple of questions for you. And we also going to highlight our hero of the week, which just happens to be the Supreme Court Justice, first, Black woman. And hopefully, I'm not political. I don't like politics, but I have to recognize certain people when they get their due. And, today she's going to be highlighted a little bit because, we started doing this back in January. Mr. Mark Lee, what up, bro?
Not much. Just glad to hear y'all's conversation. And
I'm glad you're back to be back live, bro. I missed you.
Glad to be back live as well. Propel, you're being a little bit modest because I was doing a little bit of research and everything. And one of the things that I found out was that in during this pandemic and all of that, you actually did a movie series and actually brought the movies to people and all along those lines. So you brought them things like Cornbread, Earl, and me. You brought them things like Malcolm X, and I'm actually a film curator as well. So when I was reading that, I was going like, this woman has been honored by the Seattle mayor and all of that, and she's being way too modest and all in that space. So,
I told you Mark is the best. I told you. What I tell you?
Hey man, you're right. I just I recently took that stuff down because I just was like, well, but not like, well, it's over, but Yes, yes. Back in 2019, I did like a Purple Reels pop-up cinema here in Seattle, and yeah, Cornbread Early Me, and it was just really to be like a voice in the community and kind of bridge the gap between generations and kind of talk about like in Cornbread Early Me how we're still having similar problems here and now, and then also Paris Blues, which rest in peace, Diane Carroll and wow, and Sidney Poitier, because before I believe they were still alive when we did that. And I mean, I really enjoyed doing that. And now I have this big screen. I'm like, dang, I wish I could have had that screen back then. I could have just did it, other places. But when the pandemic happened, then that's when the show Purple Reels is Watching was birthed, because I'm like, man, I want to keep going. But here we have. That's why I'm saying limitations are good for artists, for creative people, and if you learn that, then you can adapt to anything that happens, because you're just like, okay, what can I contribute to this? How can I be? You have to be more creative when there are limitations, because that's just what it is. But then when I look back, I'm like, if that would have never happened, then I wouldn't have started that show, and you know what I mean, like branched off into something else. And yes, the mayor, that was pretty awesome. Yeah, I know I can be a little modest, but it's yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with being a little modest. And all
Congratulations, kudos.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely kudos on that and all along those lines. I don't know if Zach has told you, but we actually have one of the largest documentary film festivals here in the country that takes place right here in Durham, North Carolina. So it is called the Full Frame Film Festival. So we're gonna have to find a way to get you into that, because as Zach knows, I'm involved with the Hayti Heritage Center, but this is actually a festival that is outside of Hayti and pretty much takes over all of downtown Durham and all of that. And it's usually held around the month of April or May in that time frame. And there are filmmakers, and particularly documentary filmmakers, that come from all over the country and all over the world. So we're gonna have to try to find a way, once that documentary is completed, to get.
Oh, you guys are putting on the pressure. You're putting on the pressure. So I'm gonna have to, yeah. No, but you know what? That's good, because that gives me something to work towards, and I'm very good with deadlines. Like, I know as an Aquarius, and just being Tinkerbell that I am, that's sometimes what it is, because I'm like, doing this and doing that, and then somebody gives me a deadline, I'm like, oh, okay, I have to perform. I know that, under pressure, I'm pretty good. So thank you for it.
Yeah. That's dope. Well, thank you, Mark. Also, I wanted to ask you, thank you for doing that. So you guys, I guess, will connect on Messenger, because Mark has your info, you have his. So, and that's so beautiful, Mark, that you're willing to do that, because I know we have a lot of guests on, and you always open that door for other people. That's the kind-hearted spirit you are. That's why you're on the side of the light workers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you're my producer, man. There is no other. You're the best of the best for what I do here, and I really appreciate you, man. Who do we have this week for our highlighted?
We've got Ketanji Brown Jackson, and Ketanji Brown Jackson is, as you alluded to, the first African American woman in the Supreme Court. And yes, I am going to bring up her picture as well. And why it took so long, because for so many years we had nothing but older white men that were sitting there in wigs and all of that, and we didn't have enough until Thurgood Marshall African American males, and now we've had at least I think 2 at the last count that I remember, because it's Thurgood and that one that I don't like to speak about, namely Clarence and all of that. And now we've got a sister. So, and there have been some others, including an Asian and others that have joined this ranks as well. But definitely it's something that we need to have more diversity in the courthouse and all along those lines. So I'm glad that she was appointed. I know that some of the people that are Trump supporters may not be all that glad, because she was one of those folks that went after him in terms of some of her past court decisions and court rules and all of that. And she actually has a family history in the law. Her dad was actually a lawyer as well, and she was born Ketanji Onaki Brown, and now she's Ketanji Brown Jackson, but she was born back in 1970 in an area that y'all were just talking about, that being Washington, D.C., and her parents were both graduates of historically Black colleges and universities. And like I said, her father,
Oh,
John,
wow.
attended the University of Miami School of Law and ultimately became the chief attorney for the Miami-Dade County School Board. And her mother, Ellery, served as a school principal of New World School of the Arts in Miami. So they also have a history and a love of the arts as well, like many of us do here on this platform. And like many folks, they had family members that were involved on opposite sides of the law, because one of her uncles was actually convicted of a nonviolent cocaine conviction. But then after having some work done by Ketanji Brown and having folks work in his case and all of that, she actually got President Barack Obama to commute that sentence and all of that. And another uncle, ironically, is the Miami chief of police. So definitely she has some connections to all aspects of society and all of that. And I'm sure that she will bring all of that kind of background into her work in the courthouse and in that space. But yes, she is a truly amazing woman, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about her and learning more about her in general. But that's just a little bit of the family dynamics.
Let me ask you something. Before I get Propel's comment on her, I would say the left or the moderates, do we have the majority now?
In the Supreme Court, unfortunately, no. Unfortunately,
what is the count? What is it?
I want to say that we're actually severely underrepresented. I want to say that we've only got about 4 or 5 in
4 or 5. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Propel, your thoughts on this beautiful woman becoming the first Black American woman, Afro-American woman, to the Supreme Court?
Oh, I think it is awesome, and I love, like, I saw her when she did one of the, I don't know if it was a debate or what that was, but the level of composure, I was so happy. Like, I was so inspired because knowing she's surrounded by all of these, Anglo-Saxon, wig wearing, folks, and knowing what they might be thinking, and all the different questions they were coming at her from different angles, but she kept her composure. But she did, shed a tear at some point. And then I don't remember who that was, but they spoke to her and said she was so beautiful, in the way that she handled things. And I saw a post today that Biden posted about, I guess they're reflecting on her becoming a member of the Supreme Court. But
yes.
Yeah, just beautiful, because she's all natural too, and chocolate brown. I mean, come on, this is a win-win for all my
right
little girls out there. Because even just being chocolate brown is encompassing and including everyone, because it's the original. So I feel that it's going to be very inspiring for a lot of young people in general, but mainly for the young girls out there. Chocolate brown.
That's right. And I got 2 daughters, Kayla and Maya. I love you both. One in college, one in high school. Now, let me ask you both this while we got this on the subject, because this has been on my mind. Minorities, Afro-American people, brown-skinned people, Native American, Latin American, Asian, whatever, right? It's time for us to get our shit together. And I'm going to say it just like that. Enough of the my bad, enough of the attacking each other, enough of the throwing dirt, punching down on people when they're trying to climb up and do something different. Reach down, reach out, and help somebody get to the next level so we can have more beautiful women and men like this woman here that represent our interests. Because sometimes, yes, our interests are met, and then sometimes they're not. The times that they are not met is not the time to go ape shit on each other or the community. That's the time to sit, critical think, third eye, and figure out a different way. Essence, be water.
Yeah, no doubt about that. If I can add something to that, and it
Yeah.
actually plays to something that is in an area that Propel is a part of in where she lives and all of that kind of sense. But the other thing that frustrates me is that we do know that historically speaking, there have been folks that have tried to undermine. I know that definitely Propel mentioned Malcolm X, and we can even put Martin Luther King and others in that space, but they have tried to undermine the positive things that we are doing. I'm not saying that everybody that is in these organizations is always on the side of the right and all of that, meaning the side of justice and that kind of space. But at the same time, we do know that there are forces in the government and outside of the government that like to undermine what the fine work that they are doing. I don't think it's accidental that folks are going after some of the Black Lives Matter folks. And that's what I was referring to when I mentioned Washington and Seattle and that Oregon area, or that they have gone after folks that are in those kind of organizations, be they African American, or even we know that some of the hatred that was going on in the Asian population was coming out of the West as well. So definitely, I think that we need to be cautious about hearing those stories and those negative stories and trying to figure out if they are legitimate. And if they're legitimate, then yes, we can call the people out on that and we can try to get them to correct their ways. But we also have to know that there are people that will undermine the positive efforts that we do on a regular basis. And that is one of their tactics. So that just wanted to add that to the conversation. And I don't know if Propel has any thoughts about that, as she is in an area that has been a hotbed of that conversation, be it Black Lives Matter or be it some of the Asian hate that is going on. Because I did hear you say that you have been able to maneuver within various parts of the community there in Seattle.
It's definitely multicultural here, and I actually, where I live was kind of, the chop, and it was very peaceful when I first moved in, and then that happened, and I was like, wow. If it's not one thing, it's another. The tear gas coming through our apartments, and just people, like you were saying, trying to make a change. Though I may not agree with everything that they were saying, because if you defund something and then you want somebody to come and protect you, it's like. But other than that, it's like, well, the undermining, I can definitely see how that would take place. I've seen it, and all we can do is try to be a support on our own end, and however, we might think it is. No, everything that we do adds to, the pie. So we just have to step out of our comfort zone and be willing to do the things we may not want to do to support.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for eloquently speaking about Ketanji Brown Jackson. I think I'm pronouncing that right, Ketanji Brown Jackson. And also, Mark, thank you for your hard work, and as well, Propel, your thoughtful, kind words about her. And Ketanji Brown Jackson, you are our hero of the week. Funk from the Front Seat salutes you. Thank you very much. We're proud of you. We're behind you. And hopefully you can get in there and change some minds and get people to understand we are one human race. That's what it's about. So thank you, Ketanji, and we'll continue to support you. Thank you, Mark, for that. Answering back to what Propel was saying about Seattle, and specifically, it happened in every state. But these kind of things were happening, but not on the level that it started happening 4 years ago. It was almost like the country was like, okay, well, whatever it is you hate, you ain't got to hide it no more and keep it to yourself. You could come out and thump it on other people. That's what screwed me up. We all knew the hate mongers was there. Mm-hmm. We knew that. We grew up with it, all of us. Mm-hmm. We knew how to avoid it. But when the man turned them on to like, hey, now you can really get into action here, that's when things got really scary. You know what I mean? Scary now because we don't know what they cooking up. It's too quiet. It's too quiet.
It's too quiet.
Yes. Yes.
They already went into the White House one time. You don't know whether they plan to go in there again. They've already got their leader that is talking about trying to run for office again and all of that. And, the scary thing.
Yeah. I'm thinking about that 2024 because, like, in my job, I deliver to a place that's further south, and I see those signs already. I'm like, oh, look at here.
Yeah.
Like,
and people forget. That's right. And people forget they did the test run in Michigan before the White House. Everybody forgot that. Remember the lady? Yeah. And they stormed, was the Capitol building in Michigan, wherever it was?
The Capitol building where the governor was.
Governor. And that lady got ran over or something?
Yeah, that should have been it.
Oh, wow.
People should have been hit right then and there that the violence was coming. And our job as light workers, we avoid all of that stuff. That's why I need our people to stop doing what we do to each other. Imagine if everybody thought in the same context that us three are right now. Leave the house with love. My friend, Linda Tello says that. My friend Janice says that. It's about love, I hate how people doing what we do.
If you're focused on, the hate and stuff, that also becomes a distraction, and you can't do both. You can't do your light work and be all in peace and still harbor all this hate, because the hate takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
The sad part about this Earth suit is that sometimes we have to leave it unexpectedly. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people we love leave it unexpectedly. We lost a lot of people. This week, I can't do everybody, but this brother was on my mind. Coolio, I don't know what happened. They said a heart attack. We don't know. But his time to go was up. And the brother was definitely avant-garde, rap artist, supreme, activist, socially conscious, because he used Stevie Wonder's Pastime Paradise to describe his lifestyle where he was living at the time. Right. And that's some deep stuff, because most of the rappers was coming with the he came with the you know what I'm saying? He approached it a different way. That's why that song was such a hit and it's still a hit today, because he wasn't just singing about gangsters. He was singing about all of us, how we living, how we got to do better. So Coolio, we're going to end this show at some point with Gangsta's Paradise, but we're going to talk to Propel. Your thoughts on Coolio, Propel?
Coolio, that's funny, because I thought that was a joke when I saw that. Similar to when Kobe passed away, and I just kind of passed it up, but then I have to always check CNN. CNN you can count on that for the most part, but that's the truth. But growing up, he definitely had made his impact, and even all the way down to just his hair being like a protest, because it's who is this? The Red Hot Mama, who is this bitch that thinks that they could be queen for a day? And that's very kingly, to just walk around with your hair like that and not care what anybody thinks, and whatever he was into, it shows. It's just
they were his antennas. That's what they were on his planet. Right. That's how they roll.
In every sense, it's gonna show. It's gonna come out, and he just didn't care. I saw a post that he was older, around the age that closer to the age he passed away, and then he was clowned in court because of his hair. He didn't care, but Gangsta's Paradise, I would have to agree, it's it's all in the name, but then it's trying to show from his point of view what he's dealing with, ins and outs. But that when you fuse the old with the new, as far as the music, and you make something new, it's also keeping the funk alive and bringing those young people in. Then later on, like there's this post where where this young person, it was the same people, but they're playing this music that was sampled, and then the mama comes out and she's like, Rick James. And then she plays another one. No, this is such and such.
Yep.
But it's just a beautiful thing that shows us how everything is all connected, and it's not a problem because every art form or everything has been done basically, and then you're just doing it in a new form. So,
that's right. The 12 notes that we actually hear, because there are many, many more in the universe, but this Earth suit is capable of hearing 12. Some artists like Stevie and Prince and Georgia Bootsy, them, they hear about 15 to 16. You and I may hear about 11, 12, 13, or 14. But those notes that he used and that phrase, tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? He's telling everybody right then and there, listen, I may not even get another shot at a record, but I'm trying to tell you, straighten up and fly right.
Right.
Every artist I know that's putting out something positive is saying something similar. Please, just let's love. Let's not hate. Let's not hurt. Let's not make people feel bad. There's enough of that. People feel bad enough on the reg. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And yeah, think about it. Like we feel bad to begin with.
That post that you made the other day. I'm sorry. Did you want to go?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, that post that you made the other day, Zach, about excuse me, like people. I know it was a post where you're like, I know I just need my 8. You know where, okay, you know that I don't want to have to go to the post, but you put even in my own struggles. I think it was copied from somewhere else, but
Yeah.
Coffee can be poured, and
Yes, it was for me too. It was about me, but I copied it. You're right.
yeah, like we're just letting people know that it would be a shame to lose somebody because they felt that nobody was there, no one, no one to talk to, but just saying that the door is always open, blah blah blah. Not to keep, but I thought that was so great. Even if it was copied, I just took a chance and posted it myself because I resonated with that.
Yes.
With this pandemic, it also, let us know, like it was different for people who are single. It was different for people who are married and not happy.
Yes.
And it was different because you become trapped now. If people aren't going to work and then you start to see all those things, then it made single people more creative as to how they're gonna, and I'm going off on a tangent, but yeah.
No, you're doing what we like here on the show, as Zach mentioned, which is the organic nature of the show and all that. But the one thing that I would add, and I think that is something that I think that filmmakers and musicians all face in particular, and I've definitely worked with them, and definitely even those of us in the media space as well, is that too often those outside forces are too busy trying to stop the creativity and trying to put in roadblocks. I know I have this conversation regularly with Zach and everything. So in the words of many of those folks, if you're putting in those roadblocks, if you're finding ways to stop the creativity from going on, and if you're finding ways to not pay people their worth, and all along those lines, if I can borrow a saying from Zach, please stop the madness. Stop the madness and stop it right now, because we need to have filmmakers like Propel and a photographer as well, because I did see some of your photography work also, as well as a musician like Zach, get their just amount and get their just dues. And I think that that's one of the things that Coolio was about. And, one of the scary things that I heard when I was thinking about Coolio was I was talking to some folks that are older, and they were actually lost as to who Coolio was, because Coolio was known more in the 90s. And now that we're in 2022, there are some folks that have let his legacy slide by and are not living up and putting up the legacy as much as they should, in my mind, and all along those lines. So that's why somebody that I was talking to that was in a older age range, they might have been around 70 or 80, was like asking me, who is this person? And all along those lines. But definitely, as one that is only a year above Coolio, because he died at 59, and I just hit the big 60 on July 1, being a Cancer. I heard y'all alluding to astrology signs and all of that. I would definitely say that, it definitely hits home when you see folks like that are close in age to your own age and all in that space. I believe that Funk Sister that y'all were talking about earlier was not that far from that age range as well. And you can correct me if I'm wrong about that, Zach. But definitely, I just think that we need to honor the musicians while they are here, definitely remember them when they are gone, and definitely pay and make sure that people are getting their worth here on this planet.
You got that right. You got that right. Thank you, Julio, for all your hard work, and we'll make sure that we keep your music alive, bro. I know you up there now with Prince and Glenn Goins and Gary Scheider and Jimmy and, Beethoven and Bach and James. I know you're doing your thing, bro. So, you the man, and we'll make sure that we know what Gangsta's Paradise is about. We'll make sure the youngins know. We'll keep your legacy alive, bro. And we appreciate you, man. Kudos, peace, love you, bro. We get ready to wind down. Propel, it's been an amazing show. Of course, run this to your heart's content on any platform you have is always cool. Mark will make sure he gets it. YouTube Connect. And for everybody out there watching today, thank you. It's our first live show we've done in 3 weeks because I was doing other stuff, But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much out there because, like Propel so eloquently said, some things come out of structure that we never know. And this show right here came out of COVID. I was in the car one day goofing around, and then me and my friend Kevin, my brother in Philly, said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna try to turn this into something. We need a name. Funk from the Front Seat. Yada yada yada." May 2nd was Boosie sending us our 2-year anniversary. So good things are born. I've met so many beautiful people like you and James Jones. What's up, bro? Love you, man. Oh my God, George the Funk Vinci. Mama Sandy that chimes in when she can, and April Panthers, of course, and David Brooks. All the Funketeers that go back and check this show out and watch this show, man. When I meet you guys and I see you guys, it makes me cry tears of joy because you guys are my family. You really, really are. I'm adopted, so. And my parents are gone, my sister's gone, I don't mind saying I'm divorced and my daughters are older now doing their thing. I love them both, but I'm basically by myself, and my funk family, you guys make my day. When I check in on Facebook, see what's happening, or drop a thread here and there, that comes from my heart with love. I want y'all to know that. Thank you, Mark. April, I'm going to give you the full screen and your last thoughts on anything that you think is pertinent, and then we get ready to get out of here with a little.
I don't think he realized he said April, but it's fine because we're both purple. But like we were saying, love is my religion, and I just think that funk is love, funk is unity, and if we just focus on that, even if you're not in the funk world, that love is the main thing that we need to focus on, and helping to build each other up instead of trying to tear each other down. We can make the world a better place. It can start with one person. And also, I just wanted to say, if you want to start out with meditation, the 7 chakras, the first 3, you want to start with roots, the solar plexus, and sacral chakra. So once those are centered, then you can, continue to move up. And man, I can't tell you how much it will help you, but as I was saying before, it's up to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've had a great time, and much love to all the Funketeers.
That was dope. Propel, and I'm sorry for calling you April because we can edit that when I said it to you. It was just I was focused so much and watching chats and this and that. But Propel, first of all, for getting up early, funk soldier from Seattle, on the other side of the country, we've been blessed and honored to have you on this show, simply because there's only one of you. And we were fortunate to spend an hour and a half with that one. You know what I'm saying? There's only one of you, man. And that right there.
Hey, man, you know what to say, huh?
It's worth more than all the money in the world to have spent time. And I hope you come back. We're going to schedule some more days. You come back and chat with us. You can be a regular, hang out with us. Any thoughts you may have, or if you want to do your own spot, that's fine too, because in 2023, we do plan to expand to some other shows on this network, 9 on the Grind TV, on the YouTube channel. It's there already, but we're trying to really boost up everything and give this thing some rocket fuel in 2023. Now that we'll be heading almost into our third year, so May will be our third year. So we really plan on doing some great things. All the Funketeers out there watching, you guys keep the funk alive. Like Propel mentioned, my producer, Mr. Mark Lee, is back there, and we're going to take you out just like we came in with some.
All right, now. Joanne, what's up? What's up, Joanne?
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking. Or you and your homies.
We love you out there.
I really hate the trip, but I gotta know. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Ooh, I'm the kind of dude that little homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light.
Propel was with us today, y'all. Funk for the front seat. 9 on the Grind TV.
Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't never know what I was raised
DC,
like,
Texas.
so I gotta be down with the hood team.
Delaware.
Vision watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my
Florida, we love you, South Carolina. Stay safe.
I'm a low-down gangster, set tripping banker, and my homies is dead.
New York City, Bay Shore. Charlotte.
What can I say?
Joplin City, Jersey. Detroit, Minneapolis.
Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me?
We love you out there. California, Seattle, Washington. Propel was with us today, y'all. Hawaii, Samoa, doing the humpty hump. Tokyo, Japan, Germany, Australia, England, Dubai, Africa, the whole continent. We love you.
Power and the money and the power, minute after minute.
Ohio, Winter, Bootsy Patty.
But half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't. I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck for.
Julio, we got you with Stevie Wonder, bro. Joanne in Vegas, what's up? Peru, Canada, Russia, Ukraine, what y'all doing over there? Folks from the front seat. Yes, yes, yes. Not on the Grind TV. Every Saturday at 12. Propel. Love you, sweetie.
Coolio,
Ooh, yeah.
dedicated to you, bro. We got you covered, man. Yo, been a great show. Amazing. You guys out there watching, man. We appreciate you hanging out with us for this hour and a half. We're going to have Propel back soon. We'll be talking about her documentaries and all the good stuff out there. And please stay in touch with her on Facebook. You can follow the link below. And Mr. Mark Lee, our amazing producer, thank you, bro. It's good to be back live for a few weeks. Then I'm going out again. But, you know, we'll take care of some things. All you guys are great. Y'all take care. Remember, tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? I'm out.